poster at St James's Park between Newcastle and Liverpool, one of the classic fixtures of the Premier League era, and it didn't disappoint again tonight, Michael.
No, as you say, there's been some brilliant games over the years between these two sides, and another one tonight, 3-3. Probably a fair result, I would say, overall. McAllister doesn't do Virgil van Dijk any favours there, committing himself. Virgil van Dijk's one-on-one. And what a finish that is from Isak. Just gets a little half a yard and whacks it into the top corner. But Liverpool bounced back, and they made a substitution, Steve, as well in the second half. Trent Alexander-Arnold came on and he sort of changed the game, but that got them back into it. Curtis Jones. Again, I thought Liverpool could have defended this better, leaving players to turn and play balls in, times two really, but Gordon did well. This is the substitution that I'm talking about. This made a big difference. He came on and created 2 assists.
Minute 40 seconds later.
Yeah, and just have a look at the movement between Trent and Mo Salah here. Trent actually, he goes on an underlap, and that causes Mo Salah then to make that run inside. Otherwise, he probably would have run outside. And that interchange just caused a little bit of confusion. And it was a goal. And then they went and scored a third one, Tony.
Yeah, no, Liverpool started very slowly. They came out second half, and Joe Gomez particularly had a rough night, Joe, and the substitute, like you said, changed the game. And then late equaliser at the back post, centre half got up there and squeezed one in at the far post. There you go. Yeah. Well done, the centre half.
Goalkeeper just commits himself, doesn't he? If he catches the flight of the ball, I think he probably stays at home. I think he does. He comes out, and what a finish. What a finish from a tight angle. Difficult ball, just bouncing. But I just think the goalkeeper, Kelleher, makes the little mistake there, coming out of his goal and misjudging it.
So that means, just for the third time in the Premier League, under Arne Slot, Liverpool don't win. Just a point and the draw. Here he is, the Liverpool manager.
Well, Arne, what are your overriding emotions after all that went on there?
Yeah. I think it was again a great game to watch. So this is what we do lately, with the exception of us not winning today, because the last a few times we won. But there were moments in the game that I thought, okay, if we go away here with a draw, I'm happy about it. But if you're 1 minute before the end 3-2 up, it's of course a disappointment.
What about the first half? Were you slow to get going today compared to how it's been?
Yeah, or they were really aggressive. They forced us to many mistakes. This is also what you expect if you beat Real Madrid, if you beat Man City, and you come here against a team that can also play with this intensity. Not every team is able to do so, but this team is, especially with the fans behind them. But the question is always, can they keep doing this for 90 minutes? And I think second half we were really impressive. Again, a day less to recover. That was against City the situation. It was today again the situation. And if you can be so impressive, then the second half, that's a positive thing to take.
I would imagine everybody's gone around to shake the hand of Mo Salah. You mentioned this week he's practically irreplaceable at the moment. What would you do without him?
He is irreplaceable because he every time plays 90 minutes. So that probably tells you everything. And we all see how important he is with his goals and his assists. And the special thing about him is that he doesn't even have to play a very good first hour to be so special in the last half hour.
Mo Salah has scored for 7 games in a row for the second time in the Premier League era. He's the first Liverpool player to do that. And the talk goes on, and he says he's irreplaceable on a slot.
He is. He really is. 3 players out of contract at the end of the season. Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, 3 of the most important players that Liverpool have got. I know contract talks have started, at least with a couple of them. They will, of course, start with all of them at some point. But you'd have to think that Mo Salah, listen, all positions are important in the game, but he just... I just can't... I've got no more words for him. How many goals he scores, how many goal involvements. He assisted 1 and scored 2 again today. He's relentless. He's never, ever injured. He's still as quick as he's ever been, as strong as he's ever been. He's just so important. And if Liverpool want to win the league, which I'm sure they do, then he has to remain fit because it is their natural source of goals.
And, you know, there would be a human side to this. Some people with uncertainty in the air in the next 6 months. It might affect their performance in some way.
Well,
Quite
from
the
an
opposite
Arsenal
with
perspective, we want him to go.
To you.
That'll do. Well, we've got Saka. There's two exceptional players that play in the same position, you know.
It's quite the opposite with Mo Salah. He's just getting better and better. It's not affecting him in the slightest.
No, absolutely. And I gave Liverpool a bit of criticism there for starting slowly, but the coach said that Newcastle deserves some credit here, and I think it is a very tough place to go. And credit to them for, you know, first half they did put Liverpool under a huge amount of pressure, but like he said also, that the difference, you've got to get the ball to Salah to make it to do it, and they weren't getting through the lines. And when they brought Trent on, Michael did a little bit of an analysis on it, and you need to get the ball to him and play with him. You know, it's a little bit like Saka and Odegaard. You know what I mean? Saka's a different player when he's got Odegaard in the team. You know, when he's connecting with people, he's there playing off of people. First half, he didn't have no one to play with, and then second half, we brought the sub on, and Trent comes in there and he starts to do some damage and comes alive, because he can't do it on his own. You know, it's a team game and stuff. And he was on fire again, absolutely on fire. He's a magnificent player, but you have to play with him, get him ticking.
And we're talking about fine margins, and Quiveen Kelleher has been magnificent in Alisson's absence, who, Arne Slot said he's not back probably till the new year or at the end of this year. But are these the fine margins of perhaps, who knows, Alisson comes and takes that? Or was that just a lack of concentration for a split second?
I would hate to criticise him, because I think he's absolutely outstanding, this lad. And do you know what? I think, looking at that again, I think he can actually... He almost pulls his... He can help it. He almost pulls his arm away.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows what's behind him. I thought he misjudged the flight of the ball, that he couldn't get there. But actually, looking at that, he possibly could flick it on, but he just doesn't know what's behind him. This lad's a proper goalkeeper. I mean, listen, all goalkeepers throughout their career will make the odd mistake. It's hardly a big mistake. But if you're nitpicking, then I did think that maybe just stay at home. But having a look at that again, it might have been the right decision to come, but actually go through with it and get that little flick on, because it looks like he just pulls his arm away at the last minute, not knowing, as I say, who's behind him. But what a finish that is. I mean, the difficulty level of that, I can't even begin to say. Tight angle, ball bouncing from a real height. You've got to smother it, keep it down. You've got about a foot to hit.
I think he was just reaching out his leg there. Right?
Come on.
I think he was just stretching.
Maybe there was more luck than judgment. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's a central defender, mate. He's just gone to clear it with his left foot, and he's knocked it.
You're right. He's a central defender. Yeah, let's not give him any credit.
And just before we move on, we're back on Saturday. Next up for Liverpool, away at the Merseyside rivals Everton, the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park.
Yeah.
And Arne Slot's first experience of that fixture.
And Everton on the back of an unbelievable result, scoring 4 goals in the Premier League, keeping a clean sheet. You know, it's a great result for Everton. All of a sudden, the pressure's off slightly. You know, they're away from the drop zone now. So that takes a different complexion. It's a fascinating game, as I say. Everton scoring goals again, keeping a clean sheet. Liverpool dropping points today. All of a sudden, we'll see what happens, but a big game.
Huge game.
He needs to tighten up that defence, live away from home. It seems so important. Liverpool defence.